Hey everyone, welcome to pre-Thanksgiving live stream. Everything's actually working this week, amazingly, at least as far as I know. I guess I should knock on wood real quick, make sure that stays that way. But welcome to Wednesday night. If this is your first time on the stream, the whole point of the stream is to do questions and answers, and have like more of a conversation where we can get into a little more detail, like if you have questions about drones, cameras, lenses, audio stuff, lighting stuff, business stuff, anything like that, ask away in the chat. I'll do my best to answer, and other people are in the chat are pretty awesome too, so they probably answer as well. I have the Osmo, or the Action 6, or it's the Osmo Action 6. So I was going to look and see, whoops. Oh, come on. What happened? Why is it not working? See, I spoke too soon. So it should be there. It was working just a little bit ago. Why is it not working? There, 1080 live stream, 1080 out, in a mini. Okay. What is going on? Well, while I try and figure out why that's not working, oh, maybe it's this cable. It might be this cable. I don't remember how well this one converts from USB-C to HDMI. I was gonna actually live stream, like, off the Action 6, but apparently it's not outputting the correct the correct stuff. So anyway, here, we'll do it this way. How about that? Come on, there we go. So anyway, I am lost. I already said, that stuff, and I guess I'm not doing that. So, anyway, drone shots, good to see you. Bespoke, good to see you. FTFO, well, not first today. Yeah. Jeremiah, nice to see you. Sergio, On Track Images, good morning. You definitely are in the UK. Wait, what time is it in the UK? It's gotta be pretty early, right? Gary Hegseth from Fairbanks. How cold is it up there right now, Gary? I was thinking of heading up there in a couple of weeks for some Aurora stuff. Let's see. FTFO, I don't know what you mean about the thumbnail. What do you mean about the thumbnail? All of my thumbnails are like 1080, 1280 by 720. Like, that's kind of the YouTube standard. Kevin Barkley, 107 Drones, Evolutionary Tom, Marco Island, Florida. Man, that sounds so nice. It's been so cold up here. Bespoke. Oh, okay. Nice. Gotcha. Walkin. Well, I'll be calling you Bespoke from now on, but sweet. Bare Necessities, aerial photos. Happy Thanksgiving from Atlanta. Happy Thanksgiving. First Squadron Drone DJI band. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Can we get an Action 6 versus Osmo Nano video? Some others have done it, but would do best. Oh, thanks, Bespoke. I'll try. There's going to be 2 to 3 videos a week for the next few weeks, so that I can get caught up on the amount of videos I have to get out there. So yeah, but I will try. Or maybe I'll just include it in my Action 6 review. I'll do a little like side-by-side with it and just do a little comparison there. I might do that, actually. 400 feet above Fairbanks, 16. Oh, that's not too bad. That's been about the same as it's been here. Although, actually, the last couple of days, it was single digits in my house in the morning. It was cold. Jeremiah, clean up your sensor for the first time yesterday. Must have watched 15 videos, but it seemed to go well. Could have sworn there were scratches, but apparently it was all dust. Jeremiah, yeah, it happens. It does happen. Every now and then, you got to clean those things. And good day from Bali. Oh, that sounds lovely. Hello from Southeast. Hello. You're in Atlanta too. More up north of Georgia, but yeah, nice. Cold and wet, and it's 1:07 a.m. on Track Images. I was going to say, it had to have been pretty dang early. It's probably been 12 years or so since I've been to the UK. But if I remember right, let's see, one Yeah. I was going to say, I was pretty sure it was about 9 hours difference, and that is right. So, yeah. Wow, that's pretty good for 12 years ago. Anyway. So, welcome everybody to the stream. Oh, Eddie Nunez and Arizona Drone Good. Good evening. Arizona Drone Dude, sorry. So, to all of my fellow Americans, happy Thanksgiving. And even if you're not a fellow American, I hope you have something to be thankful for. This is not necessarily a Thanksgiving Day live stream, but I am very thankful for you all, for this channel, and for I get to do some really cool stuff. I was in Chicago last week and flying the Inspire 3 and I have footage. Oh, I should have had some of that to show you guys. Should I just try and rip some off real quick? I think it's on this hard drive. Should I? I wonder if I could just I was doing the Chicago Christmas Day Parade with my friend Colin in Chicago, and we got to do the with the Inspire 3. So basically flying the Inspire 3 for 2.5 hours straight, battery swaps and stuff because it's all live. And the end was fireworks, and I got closer to fireworks than I've ever wanted to get from it with an Inspire 3. I'll say that. So, okay, so the question is, do you all want to see a couple clips of that? Because I can grab a few clips, cut them up, and spit them out of Final Cut real fast. But I'll be a little distracted while I do it. But if you all want to see a couple of clips of that, I'll show you. So, I guess I gotta go. Yes, want to see? Yes. Okay. All right. I'll let me pull it in here real quick. That. Also, we stuck the Nano. Nope, not that one. Shoot. We stuck the Nano on the Inspire 3, and honestly, got some very, very cool, shots, BTS shots of the Inspire 3. I should see if I could find a couple of those too really quick. There we go. There's the Nano. I think it's this one here. Oops, not that. No, that's not the one. Is that the one? Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. Okay, so oh yeah. This is the Nano behind the scenes. It's so funny. It's so cool. It's just, yeah. I got closer than I've ever wanted to get to fireworks with the Inspire 3. I'll say that much for sure. All right, yeah, it's this one here. Okay, let me see if I can. This will probably take a minute to import, but anyway. While I'm waiting for this to import, how about I catch up on the chat and see where you all are going. Cold and white, good evening. Bespoke, you don't need a battery grip because it would add too much weight. Plus, you wouldn't be doing super long photo shoots or anything. Wait, Bespoke, what are you talking about? What camera are you talking about, Bespoke? Hey, Paul. On-track images. You're on the night shift railway here, or railroad, as you would say. Okay, so I gotta say this. Having ridden the railway from Edinburgh to London, Liverpool, I think it was, yeah, and a few other places in Scotland, and a couple of places in Ireland, you all have the coolest rail. Like, it is, and I've ridden rail in Asia and a few other places too, and but it's such a nice way to travel there. You all have that figured out. Anyway, so yeah, I love it. I quickly fell in love with traveling by rail in the UK, in Scotland, and in Ireland. It was so nice. So, but cool, very cool. Want to see. Is the drone okay still? Bespoke? Yes, the drone is fine. Paul, your pre-order for the C50 shipped 2 days ago. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I'm still waiting. I have a rental C50 coming in as soon as I can get it. I don't know when it's going to get here, so I'm kind of waiting to see when that will happen. You're holding off on the Neo 2 for the Avata 360. Can you bring me one down when you go back to Toronto with Jevin? Yeah. I don't know when I'll be going back to Toronto with Jevin. That is such a cool place, though. It's really, really fun. Oh, dang, Paul. I am so sorry. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Wait, is your name Paul? Paul, right? Your first name is Paul? Am I just imagining this? Like, have I been calling you Paul this whole time and it's not even like, watch, it's not even Paul. Anyway, Adventures of They made it one of the streams. Yeah, you made it, dude. Nice. Chris Hope, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, Philip Koshat. The R5 Mark II. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you don't need the battery grip. The only reason I have the fan grip, the battery grip is the fan grip for doing longer stuff. That's the only reason I got that. So, you're welcome, On Track. Do you get some cool, like, train shots with drones or anything like that? Do you get the chance to do that? Because I love shooting trains. I just don't get the opportunity to do it up here very often. So, Miss Folk, you don't have any gear yet. I have a list of stuff you plan to buy in the future. Just been learning a lot, as much as you can for when you start. Nice. Good. Okay, Paul, I'm glad. I wasn't just imagining something there. On Track, Paul there as well. Nice. TV changed live streams to account name instead of display name for some reason. Okay, yeah. So I was pretty sure. Anyway, December 2nd. Yeah, Tristan, I saw that. It's pretty sweet. Let's see. Okay, that pulled in. Good. Let me do this and this. Pretty sure that's good and that's good. Yeah, that's all good there. Okay. Well, first we'll do the little BTS shots here. It is really fun flying around the city with the Inspire 3. All right, so there's a BTS shot. That's good there. Although actually I could pull this in a little more, I guess. Maybe. It's just it's very different from any other kind of flying I get to do. So it is very, I enjoy it quite a bit. That almost there, guys. Hang on just a little bit longer with me. So I'm going to show you the behind the scenes shot and then the actual shot. Wait. That one. Cool. Yes. That one. And then, oh, I didn't pull that part in. That's kind of wild. Why did I not do that? All right, we'll pull that in. Okay, I'm up to 4 minutes. That's good enough. Let me export this. I need to do that. Okay, gotta export that. So while I'm waiting for that to export, which shouldn't take long on my Mac, let's see. Utah hiker. Man, I want to get a Utah so bad. Have you found any sources for Action 6 macro lenses or filters? Everything on eBay is from China. Not sure if they'll make it through customs. So Utah Hiker, I would wait until you can get it from South Korea or somebody in the U.S., which should be fairly soon. But yeah, I would hold off on that. I wouldn't get it from China, but I would wait until you can get it on eBay, like from South Korea. From Japan, I've heard is pretty decent too, or there's a U.S. seller that has them in stock. So, and just like that, that's done. Yay. Okay, so let me do this, that, that. There we go. Okay. All right. So I would wait on that. But yeah, because it is really nice, and it really does do a good job. Mind your drone business. Good to see you. Oscar thoughts and reviews. Nice. Oscar's thoughts and reviews. I like that. Tristan Turner, you flew FPV this weekend at Willow Springs Raceway. Nothing like chasing drift cars. You're chasing dirt bikes tomorrow. Oh, I am so jealous. That sounds like so much fun. Hi again from the Bahamas, Eric Rose. Oh, Bahamas sounds amazing. I would want the Pocket 4 to be more zoomed out without a wide lens. Bespoke. So I would love the Pocket 4 to have a like 18-ish millimeter for the main camera. And if they're going to put a second camera on there, it needs to be like 50. 18 and 50 would be perfect. It would be so, so nice to have that. But Tristan, I think that Pocket 4 renders that we've seen, I think those are false. I don't think those are real. Hello from Texas. Rumors Pocket 4 Ace 2 Pro 2 going around. New features and tech would I like to see? I would love to see a Pocket 4. I have an Ace. This is an Ace Pro 2 that a video will be coming on shortly. And actually, shockingly, much better this go around than when I first reviewed it. So, yeah. Yeah. Partly it's because they've added a lot of accessories, but partly I think they must have massively improved it with firmware because it is much better than it was. Let's see. Would you consider the Mavic 3 or Mavic 3 Classic still viable for photographers? Absolutely, Eric. The Mavic 3 series still has great photos. It's 20 megapixel. They're fantastic. It's absolutely, either one of those is great. Tristan Turner, is the macro lens on the Osmo 6 worth it, or is it marketing? So it's nice to have, but I don't know, it's kind of in that place of like, yeah, it's really hard to say. Like I like it. I've been using it, and I've been using the macro lens for the Ace Pro 2, and I like the fact that you can get sort of a shallow depth of field, that you can focus much closer, but it's very much like you need to have a reason for those things. It's not like you would put the macro lens on, like this is the Action 6 here. Do this. Okay, why is nothing else showing? There we go. So this is the the macro lens, and then you focus it here on the sides on this, right? So it's not like you would walk around vlogging with the macro lens. I mean, you could, but nailing or getting focus is, I mean, they've got a thing here where it's like that's about where your like arm length would be. So I don't know. I mean, I'm happy about it. I like using a macro lens on these cameras because it gives you a little bit more options for like having a little depth of field and stuff. But then, I like, if you miss focus, you miss focus. And a video about the Ace Pro 2 coming, there was a couple of shots that I really wanted to use, and I missed focus because I was using this. So it's hard to say, so it really comes down to like what kind of stuff are you going to film with an Action 6? That's really where it comes down to it. Okay, there's that. Did that. On your list, chosen Nano over the Action 6 because time buying it. I think there will be now 3 or 4. 16 right now, so planning on buying everything 2030. Nice. By the time that time rolls around, there'll probably be some fantastic stuff. And the stuff that you're looking at now will come down in price, which is even better. Well, ideally, it'll come down in price. or be more affordable, I guess I should say. Blue Planet drones. Nice. You'd like to see an Insta360 Ace Pro 3 with fixed screen at 1 inch. That on a drone would be pretty cool, Tristan. Actually, that would be pretty cool. Phil, is the Neo 2 the autonomous Mini 5 Pro? No, it's not. The Mini 5 Pro is a much better drone for image quality and other stuff. So, but the Neo 2 is a pretty good drone. I'm trying to get one so I can do a review. And if you want to buy one, there are links in the description of this video that you can get through eBay and stuff like that, places that have them. But yeah. You'd get the Air 3S over the Mavic 3 now, though. You get much better signal. That's true, Blue Planet Drone. You do get much better signal. Tristan, you have a Pocket macro. Yeah, I do like the macro on the Pocket 3, but the other thing about the Pocket 3 is it already has that shallow depth of field when you're close up to something. So, like, and that's mostly what I use with the action cameras. That's mostly what I want is like a little bit of a shallow depth of field. I want to blur the background out just a little bit. So, yeah. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. Okay, so I'll play this while I'm talking. So this is the Osmo Nano, literally gaff taped to the bottom of the Inspire 3. It's like every time we sent it up, it was like, well, hope you make it back. Hope it's still attached when we come back, because otherwise it's going to be in the Chicago River. And it came back every time. I mean, the camera is really light and small, but yeah. So anyway, and it was like navigating around the light poles and all this stuff. It was fun. It was challenging. So this is the actual Inspire 3 footage here. That same shot that you saw with the Osmo Nano. And it was super fun. Although, like, this is where the Inspire 3 is super valuable when you're dual operating like this, because I was just flying and then Colin was operating the camera. Especially in the dark, when you're flying close to and around a lot of obstacles, it is super nice for one person to just be focused on flying using the FPV camera and visual line of sight, and then one person to be like, their only job is to just look at the main camera and line it up and get the shots we need. So it was great. And then, so this is the Nano on the Inspire 3 while we're coming by the fireworks. And so I had a real narrow band here that I could fly over without getting over the people on the left side of the street there. And so it was, it was challenging keeping it in that band. And then right about in here is when we started to get nervous because these things started shooting out toward the drone. It was like, oh, those are getting closer and closer. And it was, so I went up a lot higher. And then this is the Inspire 3 footage here of some of the fireworks, which man, the Inspire 3 is such a great drone in low light. It's really, really fantastic in low light. It's amazing. Hey, Artco. Oh, Tristan, that's cool. So then this is the same shot you saw earlier with the Nano where it was strapped underneath. And, this is what we're looking at with the Inspire as we're flying around. And I kind of wish we were on the 24 millimeter lens. I think we probably could have gone to the 18 for this part of the parade. But it's fine. We got everything we needed to get. But, right here's when all of a sudden it was like, oh, these things are getting closer and coming right toward the drone. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah. And then, so there was a couple of other things going on. There was a Chicago PD drone in the area that I had to keep an eye open for. And then there was some other drone. I don't know who it was, but it was like a Mavic or Air 3 or something like about that size that was ripping around that I was also having to keep an eye on, which was super annoying. Chicago PD, fine, but we were supposed to be the only drone in the air, or the only other drone in the air at least. And they were very easy because their drone had blue and red lights on it, and it stayed exactly where in the same spot. They didn't fly it around. But then this other Mavic came out of nowhere, and started flying around. And then it got really challenging because I don't know where this drone pilot is. I don't know where he's flying or where they're flying to. And so it was just kind of very much like, okay, where is it? And is this safe for us to, go over here and do this line, all while it's being broadcast on live TV. So you can't just stop and watch and wait. Like the drone has to be in motion the entire time. So it was challenging, but it was also super, super cool to do. So, yeah. So on track, actually, great question. We operate on a very different set of rules than you all do in the UK or in the European Union too. We don't have restrictions on distance. It's just you can't fly. You can't have sustained flight over people unless you have an arrestor system, a parachute or something that will safely land the drone with, I don't remember exactly how much kinetic force it has to be under. But so we don't have the issue that you have where you have to get a different license to be able to fly larger drones within certain, 15 meters or whatever, 30 meters of people, depending on the classification of drone. We just kind of a blanket, like you can't fly over people. You can't have sustained flights over people unless you can meet certain, kinetic requirements of how much force the drone will have coming down with a parachute system. Unless you have a class 1 drone, which would be like a mini, well, actually, technically the DJI Flip qualifies for the class 1 drone, which means you can fly over people. It has shrouded propellers. It weighs less than 249 grams or less than 250 grams, but it doesn't transmit a remote ID, so you can't do it legally for commercial operations because of that. And if you had a remote ID module, it's over 250 grams, which it's really, really irritating. I've told DJI multiple times, I'm like, just turn on remote ID for this thing. Give me a toggle, or I can just turn it on and off when I'm operating commercially or something like that. Anyway, so we have a little bit easier time with that than you do on track. Not a gotcha question, but how do you manage flying those drones in those dense population spots, the night scene with the Inspire? Do you keep it sort of not over people? It gets really gray at times. So the bridge over the river, mostly I was flying over the river or over our production area where we had a bunch of stuff that was all fenced off and blocked off with trailers and stuff. So I was either over building roofs and then coming down over the river. And the river and the bridge was blocked off completely. So there was nobody on the bridge, so I could fly over the bridge, no problem. And then around behind us, behind our production area, was the Apple store and some grass, and then going up to the Chicago Tribune building. All of that was blocked off as well. So I had this kind of good size arc, including the river, a good size area that I could fly easily without flying over people. And then the Inspire 3 has a fantastic FPV camera for low light. It really does really well in low light. Actually, I think it does better in low light than it does in really bright lights or bright sun. But so I'd be flying with the camera looking down, making sure, especially when I was flying on the far side of the river, toward the far side of the river, that I wasn't over the people. So it was challenging, but it's certainly possible. So yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah, there you go, Jeremiah. The Nano and the Inspire behind the lens would look cool. Amazon's cheap macro lens for the Nano. Oh, good to know. Okay. 2 cents. You can attest. It's far easier to fly in and around fireworks with the Avata 2 if one remembers to remove the gimbal cover. Oh, dang. Jeremiah, I'm sorry. I should be laughing. That sounds like a sad time. You think you got all this really awesome footage, and then you come back and you're like, well, crap. When that one guy puts up a Mavic Mini, yeah, Tristan, oh my gosh. That's when it became stressful, or a little more stressful, I should say. I've wanted to fly FPV through fireworks for a long time. I don't know if I'll ever get the chance, but I think that would be a blast. Mavics up, they knock you out of the sky. Yeah, and that's the other issue too. Is like there's a ton of RF going on, so adding more drones to the mix isn't really helpful. But I mean, what are you gonna do? We did have our little the drone beacon that I did a video about, the little drone detector from Drone Tag, and it was working great. It was like it was fine. But there was no drones, so we could see us. And then when the Chicago PD drone came up, which I think is a Skydio, you could see them. But then by the time we got to that point, everything is happening. Like, it's the finale, so it's just all happening, and you really got to be focused. So at that point, neither one of us were looking at that going, well, where is this person operating? Because at that point, it's like we have 2 minutes left, and literally we're flying. This is 40s. We're flying, and I'm looking at the battery going, like, it's 18%, and I'm like, Colin, how much more fireworks is there? He goes, I think there's like 45 seconds or maybe a minute. And I'm just watching the battery go down and go down and go down and go down. He's like 30 seconds. And I'm just like, okay. And so I timed it with the very last shot where I'm coming around over the river and then slowly coming toward us as the battery's going down and as the finale hits. So it worked out great, but it was like, I think we landed at like 9% or something like that. It was right on the razor's edge. And then the difficult thing is I didn't get any BTS of this, but I had to come down and land like in and take off in this really tight confined area between all these trailers, because it was the only place where there's like no overhead wires or stuff, So it was a challenge, and I like a challenge. It was fun. Anyway, lenses, B&H, coming U.S. China. Yeah, it was you. I can hear. You hear signal can be touchy downtown Chicago. Signals. So not there. That area is actually not bad. I've flown there a few times. If you keep going up river, or down river, I guess, away from the lake, then you get into very difficult areas where there's very little GPS or no GPS reception sometimes, and that can cause you to have real issues. There was one building that I was flying. It was the building kind of over by the Apple store, behind the Apple store. I don't remember what that building's called. Anyway, if I got too close to that, I would start to lose GPS signal, and I could see the drone start to drift a lot. In fact, there was one shot where we kind of flew over the Christmas tree that was back there toward the parade performance area, and it was in ATTI mode. So I was kind of like just fiddling the sticks until we got back to where it got GPS and kind of locked in again. But yeah, downtown Chicago, because the buildings are so tall, it is challenging to fly especially when you're down in the buildings, because you don't get GPS. It can be very challenging. And then some places along the river and other places because there's so much iron around, it can throw the drone compass off a lot. So yeah, there's some interesting places down there. The Inspire 3 is better. Mavic 3 and 4 are pretty good. Air 3S is good down there overall, but you still run into the areas where you don't have GPS. Is Canon known for its vibrant colors? Yes, Canon is known for its pleasing skin tones, and like kind of like if you don't shoot in log and stuff, it kind of has these like punchy, vibrant colors. Not oversaturated, but just really, pleasing, vibrant colors, if that makes sense. Just picked up a Vada 2 with the goggles 3. What a difference between that and your original Neo and N3 goggles. Still flying both. The Motion Controller 3 2026 Tri-Manual. J. Brooks. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Blue Planet Drone, talk about time management. Good work. Well, I'm glad it worked out. Because we're like, and I remember right before the fireworks were getting ready to start, we were like, should we try and come back and land, and swap batteries? Because we basically hot swap batteries the whole entire night. And it was that point that we were like, we don't have time. Like, literally, it was like 30 seconds to fireworks start. So it was just kind of like, okay, we've got to go. Anyway, covered Bahamas New Year's Carnival Parade this year, and your drone and broadcaster drone had to watch out for someone flying a mini between us. That got caught on a wire, Eric. That's kind of satisfying, I guess. I would say a little satisfying, but it is, man. It makes it really hard for people who are there trying to do it properly. It's challenging then. Thanks, Eddie. I appreciate that, man. Last week during the Aurora Borealis, your drone only went up 50 feet. Couldn't get any higher. Has that affected the solar flares from the sun? That would be an effect from the solar flares from the sun, but if your drone is having difficulty locking in GPS, which absolutely can be because of the solar energy is disrupting some of the GPS satellites, that could very well have happened. So So yes and no. Like, it's not directly an effect from the solar flares and the aurora, but the aurora energizes the atmosphere, and then it can disrupt GPS signals to where your drone can't get enough GPS lock to really understand where it is and do that. So, yeah. Did I miss? I feel like I missed something here. Any idea what drones, the light patterns they're all flying? They don't match general aviation light patterns. I don't know, Gary. They just decided on that, I guess. Yeah. Coming from APS-C, looking at full-frame cameras, Canon R6 Mark III, but looking at Canon lenses seem to be a lot more expensive, and you're missing something. What camera are you coming from, Field of Furs? The R6 Mark III is fantastic, but yes, the RF glass is fairly expensive, although I feel like it's kind of on par with Sony's like GM glass now, which is, you know, and you can get cheaper Canon glass too. There is absolutely cheaper Canon glass out there, but yeah. I feel like I missed. Oh, there we go. Okay. Mavic 3 Pro wouldn't. I think many wouldn't have upgraded to the Mavic 4 Pro, not for the impending ban. It feels a bit bittersweet every time I look at Mavic 4 Pro. You know, you don't really need it. So here's my thoughts on that. I'm going to make a video about this, probably not tomorrow, but Friday maybe. Is if you're going to buy a DJI product, do it now. Do it before the ban. Things are only going to get more difficult to get after the ban. So, like, I am stocking up on batteries, propellers, extra drones, all of that, as much as I can. Just, you know, now there is some good news potentially in the whole ban thing, is that apparently there's a group of Republican senators who are starting to push back on it because they're realizing now that it's going to drastically affect farmers and first responders. And I think they're hearing from their constituents, who are largely farmers and first responders, at least from the ones I saw the names of. So that's good. That's all we can do, and we don't have a powerful lobbying group that spends ungodly amounts of money to get this stuff done. So we just have to whine and complain at their office until they start to hear us. So they're, you know, I don't know that that's going to necessarily like stop the ban from happening, but you know, who knows? Maybe it'll delay it. I don't know. I'm hopeful in the next week or two that I might get the chance to meet in person with one of my senators and my congressional representative, because I know both of them personally, and see if I can just, you know, reiterate in person the stuff that I've been sending them via email and phone calls. So we'll see. So, but I know this much. If the ban happens on December 23rd, from that point on, all of the retailers who have stock of DJI will, I don't know that they won't be able to sell their stock, but it will get more difficult. So if you're going to buy a DJI product and you have the money for it, I'd never recommend going to debt, but if you have the money for it, I would absolutely get it. And if you want to support the channel, use the affiliate links in the description. You know, and you don't even have to click on an affiliate link. Like if you're going to shop on Amazon, just click on one of the Amazon links in my description, and the whatever you buy will be, you know, I will get the affiliate credit for that. So, and I will say that I really, really do appreciate that a lot, you guys. You know, I do get sent things, and I'm starting to do sponsored videos now here and there. But I also lay out a lot of my own money, or money from the channel, to buy things that like I'll use in other arenas as well. But also like sometimes I buy things, you know, a lot of the drones I buy, I buy it to do a review of it, and you know, yeah, I'll use it in other areas, but that's, you know, a calculated business investment, and hopefully there's a return on the investment on some of those. Like the Neo 2 I bought, and the Mini 5 Pro, no, not that, Mini 4 Pro I bought. Like those are drones I rarely would use, but I did want to do reviews on them. So anyway, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. 107 drones, Wrigley Building, Tribune Tower. Yes, that is exactly where we were. And so it was super fun. And also the police helicopter kept flying over very low, not down in the buildings. And we were down in the buildings, so I wasn't worried about that. But and they were aware there was a drone on site. So, but still, it was very like, it was fun. Thankfully, it wasn't super windy. There was some wind, but it wasn't super windy. And yeah, it was fun. So a couple of weeks ago, I could fly from the roof of the Wrigley building for the like pre-taped stuff for the Christmas Day parade, and that was super fun to be able to fly from the roof of that building. TLM Outdoors, hey. Bespoke, yes. Sony is known for having kind of ridiculously good low light performance in their cameras, and it's the way that they design and stack their sensors. So if you really want really good low light performance, then consider Sony. Canon is getting better. The last couple of cameras are getting better, but they're still a little behind on the low light performance. So, yeah. And I'm talking about ridiculously low light, like where you're pushing the ISO to 40, 50, 80,000, like just insanely low light. Like you're filming with nothing but moonlight kind of stuff. I mean, if you're just walking down the street and there's street lights around, then any of the cameras that have come out in the last couple of years are going to be fine. I mean, shoot, at this point, even though it's heavily processed, the night mode on the Action 5 or 6 and the Ace Pro 2 are good enough. So, TLM, you just got your Sony ZV-E10. Nice. Awesome, TLM. Nice. What videos do you have in the pipeline? Do you have any cool projects coming up? So next week I won't be streaming, at least that I know of, because I will be in Kotzebue, which I'm excited about because I haven't been to Kotzebue yet, so that'll be fun. That's just doing some interviews and some pretty I don't know, I don't say simple, but some stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. Videos coming up are Ace Pro 2, which I think you'll enjoy because it's more like a challenge video of like, could I use this versus my full frame mirrorless camera, and basically take you on the journey with me down to a very frozen Seward, Alaska, and we try the Ace Pro 2 out. That's coming up, and then I got a Nano versus Go Ultra comparison coming up. This lens I've got to do a review on. I'm excited about it. It's the Sirui 50 millimeter. What do they call it? The what is this one called? Is the name not on the lens? Oh, anyway, 50 millimeter anamorphic autofocus. So it has autofocus and then really nice manual focus as well. For Sony E-mount, I think it's the Astro or something like that. I think that's what it's called. So yeah, I'm excited about this. To get it's on Kickstarter right now, but get a video out about that. And then I was thinking like, man, I got a lot of videos I want to make, but I was thinking of doing, well, if I can ever get my hands on a Neo 2, I'll do another video about the Neo 2 and I'll compare it to the Hover Air X1 Pro Max, because those two drones are very, very similar. And then I was thinking about like, should I do a Mini 5 versus Mavic 4 comparison? I don't know. I think one person has done one, but so anyway. Yeah. So, and I still do want to do the Inspire ultra low light video because it's cool, but it's way on the back burner right now. OFM vlogs. You going to get a camera for vlogging. Between these three, you're torn. It's the Action 4, Action 5 Pro, Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Got any thoughts on them? OFM vlogs. Do you plan to color grade at all? Answer that for me. Do you plan to color grade at all? Compatible with the Osmo Action 5 Braino? No, it's not. The Action 5, I had my Action 5 out here now. I don't know where it is. Anyway, it's not. It's the macro lens is not compatible with the Action 5. Where did I put my Action 5? I have so much stuff piled out on my desks right now. It's crazy. I used this on a Caterpillar job, and it is so full of dust and grime, even though I've cleaned it. It's like... Nope, definitely not. Definitely not compatible. Let's see. I'd like to see footage near the ocean up there in Alaska. Well, that's coming, Blue Planet Drone. You'll see some of that in the Ace Pro 2 video, which I think is supposed to drop tomorrow. Because it is a sponsored video, so I have to wait to hear back from Insta360 to make sure they're good with it. But yeah. So, TLM got your DJI mic minis a couple of weeks ago. Nice. Order a couple of Air 3S batteries just to be safe. Yeah, Blue Planet, it's not a bad idea. I mean, it's one thing too if you travel out of the country here and there, and you could like pick some of those things up when you're out. But yeah, like new account. Nice bespoke. Oh, geez, we got 10. Jeremiah, yeah, the South Korea stuff works great. Buy a Neo True drone only without hesitation. Arithakan? Sorry, I'm probably butchering your name. But if you want a great little follow drone that's just going to follow you around or get a couple of cool shots of you while you do whatever you're going to do, then yeah, the Neo 2 is great. It's really solid, flies great, even without a controller or just using your phone. So, yeah, and I have links in the description of this video that will take you to eBay or Amazon or, well, wherever it's available, at least in the U.S. So you can order it if you want to help support the channel. Eric Rose, that R6 Mark III looks amazing. It's the same sensor as the C50, which is what I'm looking at, and I would like to try that out. But it looks amazing. Gary, with the Mavic 4, have you ever gotten light color grid pattern in the background of your photos? Cold related and intermittent problem seeing on yours. So Gary, is it when you're facing a strong light source, like toward the sun? Because the Mavic 4 unfortunately does have some pretty bad sensor flare, and that can look kind of like a grid pattern. Yeah. The Sky Curtain? Yeah, bespoke. Those are pretty cool. Eric, yeah, it's a beast. It does overheat though. That's why I'm looking more at the C50, but it's a beast. Which focal lengths for a trip to Europe? 55 to 200, 70 to 300, 55 to 200 is smaller, so you're thinking of taking that? Yeah, I mean, that would be great. I would be absolutely happy with that for sure. Is that a case I have for the Action 5? Yes, this is a case I have for the Action 5. Because I was mounting this on pieces of equipment at Caterpillar, and we had to be able to attach it and detach it quickly, and then also make sure that the camera was somewhat safe. This has 1/4-20s on it, so we could screw directly into friction arms with this, which worked great. It also has the magnetic mount that works, like the DJI's magnetic mount, and it had a cold shoe mount, which was super useful in certain situations. So yeah, and then we could also mount it vertically or from the side or whatever. So yeah, this small rig case for the Action 5 was fantastic, and it saved the camera a couple of times. It was mostly just to be able to mount it easy, though. That's what it was mostly for. Let's see. So actually add Neo 2 to your list. I wouldn't worry about that right now, because chances are, like, there's going to be something dramatically different out in 5 years, bespoke. But I wouldn't. I would get a mini series for the photography side of it, for sure. I wouldn't get the Neo 2 for photography. Then OFM vlogs, I would 100% get the Action 5 and a mic, a mic mini or mic 3 mini. That's what I would highly recommend that, because it's a great combo for what you want to do. And then you can color grade, and the Action 5 is really good color grading. I mean, the Action 4 works too. It's just with the Action 5, you can do 2 mics. If you're ever going to like interview people or have 2 people on your vlog, then yes. And that doesn't change the answer. I would still, that's what I do. Hi, just logged on. Is the anti-gravity coming out December 4th? I believe it's being launched December 4th, I think. So, yeah, and I have had the chance to mess with it, just briefly. So as soon as I can get my hands on one, I'm going to do a review about it. Also see how it handles cold weather, really cold weather. Mini drone between the Neo 2 and the Flip. If you don't want to color grade, then I would probably get the Neo 2. If you do want to color grade, the Flip, absolutely. Thanks, NorCal. Happy Thanksgiving. Blue Planet Drone, is the Inspire 3 bitrate much higher than the Mavic 4? So if you shoot the Mavic 4 in the all-eye codec, which you only get if you get the Creator Combo, that's 1200 megabits a second. If you shoot the Inspire 3, it's a minimum of 2800 megabits a second, but it can go up depending on the codec you're shooting in and stuff like that. So it's a lot higher. It's more than double. But that's if you're shooting in the all-eye codec, the highest bitrate codec on the Mavic 4, which I actually still want to do a video about that. Now I can use all-eye on my computer. I want to do a video comparing the all-eye versus non-all-eye footage and see if you can even see a difference. It's there, but it's harder to see than you think. Not one facing the sun. It's not a flare problem. Looks like a picture printed on textured paper. Very uniform. Appears mostly in areas of detail. Very smooth. Snow doesn't show up. Oh, that's interesting, Gary. That's very interesting. I haven't had that issue, though. At least not that I've noticed. Hey, H4 Services. Good to see you here. Oh, Jeremiah, thanks. I don't know that I would call this a Thanksgiving special, but you got to see some pretty cool Inspire 3 footage, so I guess we could call it a special. Yeah, but thank you. I appreciate it, man. So you did a thing, went in and pulled trigger on the Mavic 4 Creator Combo just in case. That'll be harder to get after 12. That's smart, H4 Service. I was just saying, like, if you have your eye on DJI stuff, I would buy it now and stock up before the ban goes into place. Even if the ban, like, gets just delayed or postponed or whatever, I mean, yes, I think so. H4 Services, the question is, did you use one of my affiliate links? Did you? Because I'm just messing with you. OFM log for Thanksgiving. Thank you, OFM. You too. I hope you have a great, assuming you celebrate Thanksgiving. I know I have an international audience, but assuming that, then yeah. Jay Brooks, over H4 Services. I'm just messing with you, man. I do appreciate it when you all use my affiliate links for whatever you're going to buy, not even just the thing that's linked, but but I'm just messing with you. Let's see. Although if you're going to do a bunch of Christmas shopping on Amazon, then yes, please use my affiliate link before you press buy on all your Christmas gifts on Amazon. But hey, man, enjoy the Mavic 4 H4. It is fantastic. I have been working so hard to try and get my settings dialed in so I can do a good settings video about the Mavic 4. And it is a completely different beast than the Mini 3 or Mavic 3. And I don't know what they changed exactly, but they changed something in the way the drone flies, the way it reacts and interacts with your control sticks. And it is being a bear to get it to kind of lock in the way I want it to fly, and so I can put that video together. Anyway, someday that video will come out whenever I finally figure out the settings and get it set the way I want. But as far as a image quality drone, it's a beast. It is a fantastic drone. And that's where I'm looking at the ban going in place. I'm not happy about it, but if the ban does go in place and I have a few Mavic 4s, I look at it and I'm going, I could be happy with this drone for 4 or 5 years easily. It is a phenomenal drone. So, H4 Service, you did not have to do that. You did not have to do that. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I was just giving you a hard time, man. I'm not trying to guilt trip you or nothing. Bespoke. So if DJI is gone, then what would be the alternative company to go to? Action camera, drones, mics, etc. Well, so right now, like GoPro or Insta360, that's about it. Well, Rode has wireless microphones. They make some great wireless microphones, the little ones. But yeah, that's about it. Well, Hollyland, there's a lot of little wireless mics out there. Action camera wise, you're talking about GoPro or Insta360. Realistically, that's about it. And for drones, right now, there is no one, absolutely no one that is looking at consumers who want to do video and photo stuff. It's all military, first responder, enterprise, industrial stuff. So that's what I keep expressing to my representatives is that, like, you guys are saying, don't worry, we have all these American manufacturers that are working on building up drones. I'm like, yeah, but not a single one of them is looking at releasing a drone for consumers. That's the issue. Like, yes, there's a ton of drone companies standing up. They are all focused on military or industrial applications, not photo video stuff. So my hope is that Insta360 does not just the 360 drone that they're releasing next week or whatever it is, but that they also, eventually work out to where, like, the Ace Pro 2 is, basically stuck on the front of a drone and you can fly it around. It's either that or the 360 cameras have to, like, get into, like, the 12K arena to kind of look more, like a decent drone shot when you're using it that way. So, yeah. Wish you could afford Pro Controller 2 before the ban. That thing is the bee's knees, Blue Planet. It is really nice, but I have discovered that it does struggle in cold weather. The screen does, to where it will, like, black out on you sometimes, or it slows way down. Whereas the RC2, the little RC2, does better because it's all in one unit. So the way the way I've gotten around it is literally taping those disposable hand warmers to the back side of the screen to keep it warm enough so that it doesn't blank out on me. So that's the only issue. Yeah, anyway, but it is a fantastic controller. The screen is really, really nice. Would you go GoPro or Insta360? TLM Outdoors. I love the GoPro Hero 13. It's a great camera, but if you're going to do any sort of, like, microphone vlogging sort of stuff, then Insta360, because they have the Mic Air, and GoPro just does Bluetooth audio. Insta360 does the Mic Air. It sounds so much better than just Bluetooth audio. So, yeah, and you can hear the Insta360 Mic Air on my video that I released Sunday, I think, that was comparing the Nano. Wait, is that comparing? Crap. I've been editing so many videos, I don't even know what I've released over the last couple of days. If it hasn't been released yet, it's releasing soon. The Nano. Nope. Okay, that video hasn't released yet. That one's going to release soon. Jeez. Oh, good Lord. I think you could hear the Mic Air on the Osmo 360 versus Insta360 video, but I don't remember. That one was like last summer, and I've done a lot and slept a lot since then. TLM Outdoors, what about Autel? So, the chances are that Autel will also be added to the covered list, which means Autel will be in the same boat that DJI is in, because it's also a Chinese drone company. So, yeah. And they're not, Autel hasn't done anything with their consumer drones in a long time. They basically, I think they've just given up. They're focused on enterprise industrial stuff too. Use to visit another country and then come back. So that seems like a win because I want to go to South Korea and Japan for some photography. Bespoke. I mean, yes, in theory, but there's a limit there. Like, you can't buy, $10,000, $15,000 worth of drones and then bring them back into the U.S. without questions arising. So it's one thing if you pick up a Mini 5, that's, small and is what it is. But if you're going to pick up, I wouldn't try doing it with Inspire 3. And the Mavic 4, it's going to be on that line. Good sunshade. No, Blue Planet, I haven't yet. I was hoping somebody would make one. TLM. Wait, you were asking about? Newly unlimited budget is? Yeah, exactly. Only bypass. Okay, we got that. Found a good got that. I'm gonna say watch all your videos. You have the GoPro Hero 11. Just wonder what you personally like. So I do still love GoPro's image quality. GoPro still has fantastic image quality, and I do love GoPro Labs that you can increase the bitrate to like 300 megabits a second as opposed to the whatever 110, 120 it is. And that is noticeable when you're doing heavier duty processing on the footage in post. So I do. I use the Action 5 a lot for a lot of stuff. It's yeah. So FPV wise, I still use a GoPro 12 a lot, the GoPro 13 occasionally, and the Nano or the Action 5 a fair amount. But yeah, that's it. That don't need to be. Are there any compliant strobes for night flights that don't need to be taped on you recommend? I use Velcro on mine, or hook and loop, the big industrial hook and loop stuff. That's what I use. I use one from Firehouse Strobes, which is a great one. It's pretty small and lightweight. And then I also use the Loom Cube one that they released a while back. But that one's kind of expensive. I would probably recommend the Firehouse ones, to be honest. I'm so disappointed with from Skydio. You are not the only one. Mind your drone business. A lot of us. They have the worst reputation among consumers of any drone company out there. Like, it is bad. So I think even if they came back to enter the consumer market, they face a really steep uphill battle to re-enter the consumer market. But I don't think they're going to, because I don't think they care about consumers at all. I don't know if they really care about anything but the making a crap ton of money, to be honest. I mean, they do make a cool product, but it's, yeah. Long distance module and IoT access the back of American market legacy, even the US DJI drones, the safeguard from bad actors. Yeah, exactly. That's true, David Martin. Good point. Gary, thank you for the coffee fund donation. I do deeply appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. There you go, Bespoke. Enjoy the videos. There's some spectacular ice cave footage in the Mini 5 videos. I mean, spectacular. Some of that ice cave was just one of the most spectacular ice caves I've ever found. And I cannot wait to go back up there next fall for the 1 or 2 weeks that it is available and accessible, hopefully, and capture it again, because it is unbelievable. It's the only ice cave I've ever found that if you go far enough down into it, I know that sounds terrifying, but if you go far enough down into it, there's a network of caves that come together and join up, and it is so cool. So yeah. Bespoke, how come I switch between? Mostly it depends on what people want. Like sometimes people want GoPro because they know GoPro footage. Sometimes people want the Action 5 because they like the D-Log-M, or they're matching it up to other, D-Log-M cameras or drones or whatever. So that's usually why I do it. TLM Outdoors? Nothing. I mean, they have lobbied a lot against DJI, and it's that, and then the fact that they basically just dropped consumers like a hot rock with little to no warning, and we're just kind of like, see ya suckers, and then started charging 3 times, 5 times more for the same drone to government agencies. But yeah, it's that, and the fact that they lobbied a fair amount to kind of brand fearmonger DJI out of the country, essentially. So, yeah. Jeremiah, yeah, Firehouse strobes are fantastic. That's what I'd recommend. I have 2 Firehouse strobes for the Inspire 3, and I have one for the Mavic 4, or Mavic Air 3 Mini, whatever that size drones are, and they're all excellent. Don't want to stick Velcro. Yeah, sorry, Tanius. They're well, actually, I take that back. I don't know where they are now, but there used to be people that offered 3D printed solutions, so you could like clamp it on different parts of the drone. You had to use more than one strobe, but you could attach strobes to the drone using 3D like clip-on things, and so that's an option there if you don't want to do the Velcro. I don't blame you for Velcro stuff, but yeah. You might look on like Thingiverse or something like that for the 3D printed files. Anyway, but there used to be people who like 3D printed mounts for strobes on different models of drones. Do you think the ban they will sell the Pocket 4 in the U.S. since it's not a drone? It's a ban on DJI, period. But it's a ban right now. It's only a ban on future products. So in theory, current products should be fine. But all of us who have been following this through the last few years recognize too that there are lawmakers who are hell-bent on getting DJI out of the United States. So that means it's only going to get more difficult for DJI to sell products in the United States. So like I said earlier, if you have something you've had your mind or eye on, then I would pick it up now. And holy crap, it's 10 after 5 already. I need to get going. Bespoke, I hope you make it here someday. I hope you do. H4? Yeah, see? I'm so glad. I'm sure somebody else does it now too for other models of drones, but yeah, anyway. Today is the 40th anniversary of Sony releasing the black and white Walkman. I had one, remember liking the Guinness. A Watchman. Oh, I remember those. Yeah. Would I say the Hover Air X1 Pro Max or Neo 2 is better now that you've reviewed both? Oh. So I'd say the Neo 2 is better if you plan to operate in a little bit more wind. One, it has optical avoidance, although it didn't work for it the one time when I was reviewing it. So, yeah. I would say marginally the Neo 2 is probably better. Marginally. A little bit better. So, anyway. All right, I have to go. Thank you all for being here. Happy Thanksgiving to all of my friends who are in the United States. And even if you're not in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have something you're really thankful for. I know I do. And one of those things is all of you and hanging out with all of you on the fact that you watch the videos that I put out and hang out with me here on nights like this. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, more videos coming. Quite a lot of more videos are coming. I hope you enjoy them. I'm trying to make them as fun and as entertaining and as informative as possible. So, in the meantime, be safe, be smart, everybody. I'll see you again soon in the next one. Cheers.